What do the stars mean? Hi, this is the first time you've spoken to me? The purple stars! Do you want to, join a squad, maybe? Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, one of the great mysteries of Monster Hunter Wilds, especially in the endgame as we've been beginning, is what the hell barina is going on with the purple stars on monsters? The answer is that they are the secret to truly understanding and controlling the difficulty of your hunts. Generally speaking, monsters are split up in a few ways, difficulty-wise, things like low rank to high rank, and then the actual threat level of the quests as well, which you can see when looking through the quests, and it progresses upwards based on the assumed difficulty of each monster. But then there are the purple stars on every large monster's icon as well. You'll notice every optional quest is 3 purple stars on all the monsters, which is the lowest that a large monster can have, but out in the wild, on field surveys or investigations, monsters can go up to 5 purple stars at the maximum. So what exactly does this do? A quick shout out here to Gaijin Hunter as we dive in, who recently did a bunch of his own testing on this exact topic, and he used regular fireballs from Rathian, looking at the differences from 3 purple star non-tempered Rathian to 5 purple star non-tempered Rathian, and then 3 purple star tempered Rathian to 5 purple star tempered Rathian as well. The main thing that he noticed was a large difference in the damage taken from the attack. While wearing basic high rank leather armor, he noted that the damage from 5-star tempered Rathian was around 225% of the damage done by the same attack from 3-star non-tempered Rathian, which is an absolutely massive gap between those variants of the monster. We've been messing around and testing the purple stars for a while now ourselves as well, and this gave us some more interesting information and context to compare with. That said, all the testing that we've done on the matter is with Arkveld, with the idea being that we want to know how it affects proper endgame hunters for endgame hunts, which is why I will also be wearing Arkveld armor. I've got 419 defense, but negative 14 dragon resistance, which does matter because the attack we're going to be testing specifically for consistency is Arkveld's big sequential dragon blast. This has a super long wind up on the attack, it does a ton of damage when it hits you, and it should give us a pretty good idea of how much damage it actually scales up on one of the biggest attacks in Monster Hunter Wilds right now. That said, in comparison to Gaijin's findings with Rathian fireballs against leather armor, the difference between 3-star normal Arkveld and 5-star tempered Arkveld was much smaller as far as the damage. Here they are, all laid out beside each other, and a quick pattern that I want to make note of here is that tempered Arkveld seems to essentially be 1-star level of value higher than normal Arkveld. 3 purple stars for tempered Arkveld is almost identical damage to 4 purple stars on non-tempered Arkveld. 4 purple stars for tempered Arkveld is almost identical to 5 purple stars on non-tempered Arkveld. So essentially, think of tempered as being the equivalent of a bonus purple star, and think of these purple stars as being the equivalent of a tempered monster increase, which means even without tempering, the difference between 3 and 5 stars is actually quite notable, and then when tempered, it is quite a big difference as well. Generally speaking, you are supposed to get better rewards for higher purple star versions of the monsters, but it's all a game of probability. That's how Monster Hunter works. There is a higher probability of better rewards from monsters with more purple stars, but all potential rewards can happen regardless. That said, this means generally people who are looking for higher rewards will be engaging with these harder quests to begin with, whether they meant to or not, but it helps to know exactly what you're getting into. With my findings for Arkveld specifically, tempered 5-star Arkveld hit for exactly 150% of the damage that regular Arkveld does with 3 purple stars in the same attack. So the scales very differently to Gaijin's findings in his experiment with the Rathian. Theoretically, the reasons for this are either that the purple star differences affect lower tier monsters more than they affect higher tier monsters, or that it's something to do with just hitting a certain level of raw defense on your gear, as I have a lot more defense as a generic leather set as well. That said, this wasn't the only test that we did either. We also wanted to see what the general health difference is between the star rankings, if any, as well as tempered monsters compared to the regular ones too. The easiest way to do this is with the in-game environmental traps, as these always deal fixed health percentage damage of the monster. To do this with Arkveld, I specifically fought him on the plains every time in solo hunts and brought him up to the fulgurite pillars in zone 5, just to keep it consistently the same trap every time too, to eliminate any variance. Without knowing the exact percent health that the trap does, we can't work out their exact full health total, but because we know that these falling rocks deal percent damage, the difference between the damage dealt to each monster should be equally proportional to the amount of extra health that they have. What I mean by this is if 4 purple star Arkveld takes 16% more damage from the falling pillar than 3 purple star Arkveld, that means that 4 purple star Arkveld has 16% more maximum health. Using that logic, we can apply it the whole way through, and I'll put it on the graphic now, and you'll see some interesting results here too. One thing to note is that you can still have multiple different Arkvelds with the same amount of purple stars that seem to have slightly different max health from each other, as they take different amounts of damage from the pillars, even if only slightly, but they are all within a sort of set range. That said, 4 purple star Arkveld has around 16% more maximum health than 3 star Arkveld, and 5 purple star Arkveld has nearly 10% more maximum health than 4 star, but with around 27% total difference between 3 star and 5 star. This is where the variance that I mentioned comes in, as this logically seems like the lowest of 3s to the highest of 5s should be around 30% difference maximum for the various monsters. That said, we also have tempered versions too. 3 star tempered Arkveld has around 14% more HP than non-tempered 3 star Arkveld, and seems to be relatively close to the same amount as a non-tempered 4 star as well. Tempered 4 purple star Arkveld has around 14% more maximum health than tempered 3 star does, which again is seemingly quite close to non-tempered 5 star. And then tempered 5 star, the biggest version there is, has only around 3.5% more maximum health than tempered 4 star seemingly, but that still puts it at 34% more health than base 3 purple star Arkveld. So we have a nearly 35% possible health discrepancy for monsters, depending on a mix of tempered state and the actual purple pips, the little purple stars. And from these HP comparisons, combined with the damage comparisons too, I'm now quite confident in saying that tempered 3 star and non-tempered 4 star are in the same little bracket of monster stats, the same roll range, and the same for tempered 4 star and non-tempered 5 star. This data shows me 4 different sets of stats essentially: the non-tempered 3 star, the lowest one, then there is the first shared group in the middle, the second shared group in the middle, and then tempered 5 star all the way up at the top. In other words, again, like I said in the damage section, think of tempered as being the equivalent of a bonus purple star, and so think of a single purple star rank as being the equivalent of a monster going to tempered from not tempered. That said, while I didn't notice any direct animation speed differences between different star levels, because that was something I was looking for, this one is sort of feely crafty, but specifically 5 star tempered Arkveld was using the attack I was testing damage on very infrequently in comparison to every other version of him that I tested. I was using the big dragon explosion as I mentioned earlier, and this is generally speaking his longest animation, and while it is threatening at first and it does high damage, it actually leaves him open to return attacks if you dodge it. It is a very good attack for the hunters once you get better at it. 5 star tempered Arkveld did this attack 3 times in 20 minutes of me purposefully standing at the perfect range for him to do it, but I also noticed that he did the 3-hit chain combo way more frequently too, which is his real most deadly sort of combo. This could be a coincidence, sure, whatever you want to label it, but it definitely feels like higher purple star monsters will lean towards different parts of their moveset, the more dangerous parts, higher chances of different attacks. That just about does it for today then, everyone. All of the testing we've done so far related to the purple stars on monsters, and seemingly this is just an in-game representation of something that has existed in the Monster Hunter series for a long time, which is variable health and damage within the same monster species. And the funny part is they don't actually explain that anywhere at any point, so it still isn't straightforward, but hey, now that you know what they mean, you can use them to either purposefully go for easier versions of the hardest monsters, or you could go the opposite way and only fight 5 purple star monsters, make the game harder for yourself if you're someone who's looking for a challenge. Like if you liked the video, subscribe with the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.